Hey, Nicole, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good afternoon. Or what? Good morning. Where are you at? East Coast or
No, I'm technically
Central?
in Chicago.
You're
So,
in Chicago. All right, nice. So still morning. What part of the city are you from?
Park Ridge, so about like 25, 30 minutes from downtown.
Okay. Is that north, south, east, west?
North.
North. Okay. So you're probably pretty close to the office because we're in Des Plaines.
Yeah, like not even 10 minutes.
Oh, that's nice. Real convenient then.
Yes, it works out very nicely.
Have you been to the office yet?
No, not yet. That's why I was kind of gonna touch base with Drew. We talk on Thursday, but just like those kind of like when I can go there and those types of questions.
Nice, nice. Yeah, good. Well, you could come to the office pretty much any time as long as you're healthy, you know.
Yeah.
So we're trying to take as many, precautions and follow all the protocols and everything. We've been lucky for the last year, haven't really had any scares. Maybe a few people here and there got sick, but they were quarantined and so office is clean and anytime you want to come up. I think a good day to come would be on Mondays when we have everybody there because there's an agency meeting and it's usually pretty live while going on.
Okay. As far as being in the office, is that more so on like days we have meetings or like when I start taking like my calls, that'll all still be from home, like with clients?
So that's the beautiful thing. There's really there's no there's no rhyme or there's no rules around it. So it's kind of like what's best for you. Some people just find it better to be in the office.
Hmm.
So they'll work majority out of the office. Some people are like 100%. They're like, if I don't go to the office, I don't get any work done in my house. And
Yeah.
I could understand that, for I used to be kind of the same way. So but some people say that they get more work done at home. So, and then some people combo it up. They'll come to the office on like Monday and Thursday when everyone's usually there and they can access, their managers and sometimes you might want to get materials and stuff because we have a storage room there. You can get, any sales materials or anything that you need. So Monday and Thursday is when most people is the majority of people are there. But Tuesday, Wednesday, like today,
Hmm.
uh, there's still people at the office and they'll post up and they'll have appointments today. So they'll usually just run their appointments from the office. But then some people will go home and run their appointments from their house. Just depends on you, and your schedule.
Okay.
So and what's nice though is like if you can make it like for me, I'm always an office guy, just me personally. So I like to be in the office because I just focus, I get my stuff done when I'm there. And but when I'm home, I'm a home guy. I don't do both. Like I don't go to the office and worry about being at home. And then when I'm at home, I don't really I'm not thinking about the office. So I kind of, my one coach said, he said, you got to have your he said ass. He said, you got to have your ass and you got to have your head in the same place.
Hmm.
So, um, but what's nice is I've had a few situations like today where I couldn't make it to the office. I could have, but it would have been highly inefficient with my time. I'm staying downtown, and for me to drive, 45 minutes to get into the office, another 40, that's an hour and a half of driving today that I didn't, I don't really got time to do that, you
Hmm.
know? So
Yeah.
I just posted up here and just been getting work done right here, right in my hotel room. So um, that's the beauty of the business. You can do it virtually anywhere. I've actually was driving down the road from Pittsburgh to Chicago, and I had somebody driving my car, and I ran all of my meetings right out of my car virtually while I was traveling. So it was like, talk about killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
It's a 7 hour drive. I mean, that's like a whole work day.
Hmm.
So I actually met with a client, went over their life insurance, sold them a policy, Then I met with some of my managers, we game plan stuff, talked to some new recruits. I got a whole bunch of stuff done in a day. So that's the beauty of the business. I have a gentleman who lives in Florida right now,
Mhm.
and he said he wants to go live in Mexico City.
Okay.
So he's going to go live in Mexico City, and he's going to work virtually from there.
There you go.
That's the beautiful thing about it, you know. So it's kind of different strokes for different folks, whatever, you
Mm.
know, whatever is best for you, you know. And and those that might change over time, you know. So um what would you say would be some of your, you know, you got to see the opportunity and you're getting your license right now.
Yeah.
um what would you say when you get started, you know, what are some of your goals, aspirations, your vision for, you know, yourself, you know, with the company?
I'm definitely like a natural born leader, so I want to get in my rhythm, get in a routine, and have consistency so that then once I hit my marks, I can hopefully start building my team and just I want to be the best I can. So naturally, in whatever situation I'm placed, I'm always a leader in some way, shape, or form. So that's why I saw a lot of opportunity for growth with you guys. And I'm just excited to help people. No matter what career I was going to go into, I knew I had to make a difference in people's lives in some way, shape, or form. And I honestly think this is the best way to do it.
Yeah. You mentioned you were a leader in a lot of different, you know, aspects before. What were they? Were they academic? Were they business? Was it a sport? Extracurriculars?
Kind of all of the above. When I played sports, I was always our team captain. I played hockey, so all the team.
Hockey, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I led our group, but then in high school, like I was the VP of our Rotary Club, and in college, I had numerous positions in my sorority, and then I was the president of our honorary society for my degree. So I hit all my marks wherever I went, which is good because I got to know how to lead people both like in a normal situation, but even through COVID, like that helped me like realize a lot and just be grateful for what I had before because it helped me do the transition more effectively.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome, awesome. What college you go to?
Ball State in Indiana.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay. So, so you know, you mentioned you like to help people,
Hmm.
and I mean, boy, this is definitely a career that you. That's what the whole thing is based around. When I started, they told me, they said that the more people that you help and the better that you help them, the more income you're going to end up making for the week or for the month, you know. He said, but the less people that you help, and if you don't give them good help, you're going to make less money. So I was like, well, that's good, because that's a good correlation for me, you know.
Yeah.
um and obviously with our products, I was in the financial services industry for 3 years before I came here. So I was actually on Wall Street. I was a stockbroker.
Hmm.
I was a financial advisor, and the reason I got into the business is because I wanted to help people. I just knew that most people were not financially sound. And for me, I went to school for 4 years to get an economics degree, and then I studied and got all these licenses, and I spent every day waking hours studying and learning finances. And I realized I still don't even know finances. So for somebody who, you know, they go to work every day, and they drive a truck, and then they come home, and then they coach their kids' basketball team, when do they even have time to even engage into that level? So that's why there's professionals in different areas. That's why there's plumbers, because if I need to hire a professional plumber, if my thing broke, I shouldn't be fixing it, you know. So everybody has their own, you know, ways, and I felt finance and it was going to be my way to help people, because a lot of stress that people have in life are due to financial stress,
Hmm.
which is crazy. um I found that marriages that struggle most of the time were due to finances. So I felt like I could really help people. I could help a lot of people, and I could save marriages, is all I was thinking, you know. So that was my thought process, and I found it. You know, it was definitely, I was helping people and everything, but um, it was like being a jack of all trades and a master of none, because I was trying to focus on your whole entire financial life and trying to get it all fixed, you know.
Hmm.
Now, believing that and come to this company, We focus on just the life insurance protection assets, protecting their assets and that aspect of the business. And that, is rewarding in itself, because that at someone's absolute one of the worst times of their life, that you're going to provide something, valuable to them. As far as like the cost goes, the average client for us pays about $15 to $20 a week for their coverage, so you're looking at $60 to $80 a month. So we like to say that, the clients are setting aside the least when they need it the least, but it's going to pay them the most when they absolutely need it the most,
Yeah.
So, helping people in that aspect was great, because I felt, I felt empowered and I felt rewarded. And I tell you, probably next to like scoring a touchdown, I never felt any better than after I made a sale with a client. It's just a natural like high that you can get from helping somebody like that. But the thing is 1 out of 3 times we're doing that. 2 out of 3 times someone's telling us no. So you gotta know that going in, and kind of be okay and sign up for that. That's not our goal. My goal is to have everybody say yes. But I know that it's going to take me about 2 no's to get to a yes. So I really just try and explain that to everybody up front as much as possible. We're going to lose more than we win, probably. You got to be okay with that. But the ones that we win make up for the last 5 losses I just got, because it's just that big of a impact. It's rewarding. So I realized that it would take me 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. And if I was all by myself trying to serve clients, I eventually was going to be capped off. You could only do so as one person. You can only do so much with it. So I was like, if I want to help people and make a bigger impact than I'm helping now, then I'm going to need to get some other people doing this with me. So like if I work I'm working all day and all night, and let's say I can see 30 people in a week by myself, and that's my max, right? So in order for me to be able to see more people, to serve more people, to get more families protected, the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if I can get someone else to jump on and do it with me,
Yeah.
So I'd be like, you, Nicole, I call you Nicole or Nikki. What do your friends call you?
Nicole or Coley.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Coley, I never heard that one before.
Yeah.
That's a good nickname for Nicole. There you go.
Yeah.
Did you come up with that or what?
People called me that. It started from hockey because I was a goalie, so they would call me Coley goalie, and then it just stuck. So I'm usually called Coley.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Coley the goalie. That's a great nickname. That really is. I'll tell you, that's a cool nickname.
Yes.
Who's your favorite goalie?
I have a personal preference just because my dad coaches our minor league team in Chicago. So personally, I would say Jordan Binnington. He's the goalie in St. Louis. He won the cup a few years ago, but it's because he's one of my dad's buddies, and I've like actually met him, and I know he's a good person.
Yeah, nice. I was hoping you were going to say Marc-Andre Fleury.
I mean, I like him too. I like the way he plays.
Yeah, the Flower. They call him the Flower.
Yeah.
So I'm from Pittsburgh.
Awesome. I love that city.
So that's my guy. And he's a really good guy too. He's a good guy. Yes, he is. He still plays for Las Vegas now still, right?
Nice.
Yeah. My guy that does all my cars, he does Marc-Andre Fleury's cars for him. Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah. So that would be like me saying that, I need to get Nicole to help me. And now if I can teach you what I'm doing, then me and you together can cover, more ground. So now if I can see 30 people and you can see 30, now we just can see 60 people in a week. We just doubled our impact and our influence,
Yeah.
So that was my initial thing, is like, I need to get into leadership because I want to help more people, and I can only help so many people by myself.
Mhm.
So now you're going to be able to influence and do that. So I want to just talk briefly, just maybe about some numbers with you. We might have went over them. You might be kind of familiar with them a little bit, but the first step in getting into leadership is growing from the agent to the supervisor. And when you become a supervisor, this is you're a small team leader. Typical supervisors will build a team to maybe 3, 5 people or so. In order to get to that point, uh, you have to hit a certain level of production, because we have to know that you know what you're doing, you
Mhm.
know. So it takes about $24,000 of production over 90 days to get promoted. So that basically breaks down about 8,000 a month in production, which is like 2,000 a week, which is pretty basic standard numbers. So it's nothing crazy. Like, you don't have to hit 6 home runs in a row to get qualified.
Mhm.
Uh, hit your numbers over. Now, for me, they told me you have to do 24,000 over 90 days. Well, what I did, I went out of my first month and I just did 24,000 my first month and just got it done with. So you can do that and you don't have to wait 90 days. You can do 12 and 12 and hit it. So some people think you have to wait the whole 90 days. You don't have to. Once you hit that, now you're in a position of leadership. Now you can start training, recruiting, developing your team. And
Mhm.
your team's just going to grow pretty much as fast as you grow your team. So what I did my first month is I wrote that business, obviously, but on the side, I also start building my team. So I identified like a list of, they said, if you had to start a team, you want to identify your starting 10. So I actually wrote down like 25 people that I knew that I wanted to reach out to and extend the opportunity to check out our company, my business. And some of them were friends from college. Some of them were friends from high school. One of my one of my guys that came in, and he actually became my supervisor when he got into management. He was my fullback on my high school football team. So in college, he went to a different college than me.
Mhm.
But in the summertime, we would always meet up and do our summer workouts and get ready for college, because in the fall you'd have to go to football camp,
Yeah.
and you can't show up to football camp out of shape. You
Yeah.
will be exposed majorly. So we would work out together all summer, and I knew he had a good work ethic and all that, and I knew his dad. So when I graduated college, and I knew he graduated, I saw 3 years went by, and I saw all my friends after 3 years. They were all in the same spot. They really didn't have much going on. So I was able to bring them in and show them this opportunity. I talked to my dad, and my dad worked at a company where all the guys that he worked with were the same age as him. So he's like 50 and his son's like 20 some, me, right? Well,
Mhm.
all his guys that he worked with were 50. So all their kids were right around the same age as me. So he said, hey, how about your son? Hey, how's your son? Why don't your son come interview with my son? He could check out. My son got this great opportunity, and he was sending me all these people. And within my first month, I had 10 people that came on and got hired. And then from there, I got promoted, and those 10 people got their license, and they came right onto my team, and we just grew from there. So
Yeah.
it was my enthusiasm for the opportunity, because I was just started with the company.
Mhm.
So they're like, they couldn't say, well, how long you been there? How much success have you had? I was like, I only been here for 5 days, 3 weeks maybe, when I was talking to the people. So it was my belief and my enthusiasm for the business and for the vision, that I had. So to walk you through the steps, though, is when you become a supervisor, you train, develop your agents, right? And then eventually what your agents should be able to do is they should be able to get promoted to a supervisor. And when they hit their numbers to get promoted to a supervisor, that's going to trigger your numbers to get promoted to a manager. But now the people that get promoted to supervisors, they hit their numbers, so they know what they're doing. So
Mhm.
they're able to help train and manage and build their team. You're going to be the manager. You will oversee the supervisors and help train and build and manage your team together. When I was a supervisor, it was me and I had to train everybody pretty much by myself.
Mhm.
But and I was training Casey, I was training a guy named Matt, and another one was Lou Fanny was my fullback. And after about 2 or 3 months, those guys start hitting their numbers. So what was great was Casey was able to be a supervisor, Matt was able to be a supervisor, Lou was a supervisor, and now I was able to train 3 times as fast, 4 times as fast, because there was 4 of us that can do the training. So I could hire 4 people and know that all 4 of them are going to be able to be trained properly. So the team was able to grow like exponentially faster than when it was just me by myself. So now we're all working together as a team. You know, they're working to hit their numbers. They're trying to train their people. I'm helping oversee. We're all trying to, because the next goal is for them, for the agents that they brought in, for them to become the supervisors, because Matt, Casey, and Lou needed to become managers. And then that bumped me up to the general manager.
Got it.
You know, and that was my first original goal, is to become a general manager, and you're the head coach. So now you run your whole team. It's all up to you. You can have meetings on Tuesday. You could take them all to lunch. You could go to bowling. You could wear green t-shirts. It's your team, you know, so it's kind of cool. But you know, you get paid very well. So they told me that if you can build a team of 10 people, and them 10 people can do average numbers of 2,000 a week, that means your team's going to do 20,000 a week in production. At that point, you'll be making about $4,000 a week. And I was like, holy cow, I can't even, like, I mean, it took Ira to really, and I was like, are you sure about this? You know, and the guy that hired me was my state director, was Simon. And I remember I was looking at him and he's looking at me, and he went over the numbers, it was right there. And I'm like, and I was kind of doing one of these. I'm like, are you sure? I mean, this looks too good to be true. He's like, you want a guarantee? I was like, I mean, I know there's no guarantees, but I'd
Mhm.
like, if you could, a guarantee would be nice. He's like, I'll guarantee you this. I'll guarantee you that if you're everything that you say you are, that this company is everything that I'm telling you that it is, and even more, because I
Mhm.
can't even go over all with you right now. It's better than this. Okay. Um, so I remember him telling me that, and I was like, okay, I could take that. So, but he showed that to me on a sheet of paper. He's like, 10 people doing 2,000 a week would be 20,000 a week. And if you're an MGA and your team does 20,000 a week, you make $4,000 a week in income. And that was like my first goal. I was like, I got to get there as fast as possible. So literally it took me about 8 months of just pouring myself into the business. I dedicated everything I thought. It's like, you know, I don't know how, if you wanted to start out in a career, you know, and then 1 year later make $200,000,
Mhm.
there's going to be some uh, sacrifice.
Yeah.
There's going to be some long nights, hard. So there's going to be some ups and downs. It's not all just going to be, you know, just show up every day and punch a time card and a year goes by and you magically make, you know, there's definitely going to be some work. So I put in the work, obviously, the sacrifice. I dedicated everything I possibly could. And I can't believe this. I woke up my second year. I was an MGA after 8 months, and I made over $200,000 my second year at the company. So if I could do that when I'm 24 years old, I didn't know anybody here, and I'll just be honest with you, it was harder when I started than it is today, just because there's so many different reasons. But the virtual was a big thing, you
Mhm.
know. Virtual has really opened up the game for us big time. For me to build my team, uh, you would have to come to the office for an interview. So if you didn't show up for an interview, there's no way you could even join the team.
Mhm.
Then you would go home, and then you have to come back for another interview, right? And
Yeah.
then you'd have to come for training, and every day you'd have to be in the office. Like, you asked me, well, when do I come to the office? Well, if this was about a year and a half ago, I'd be like, every day. We're at the office every day, pretty much.
Mhm.
So now I can recruit people from anywhere, and you don't have to drive to an office for an interview. I can recruit from a different state, Indiana, for instance. We have Gina who works with us. She lives in Indiana. And so like if you, for instance, wanted to hurry up and build your team real quick, you're not confined to all the physical constraints of, having people have to drive. Now, basically, you would have to take like a 20-mile radius of our office, and that would be like your recruiting radius for you to build your team. Okay. Because people weren't really going to want to drive 2 hours a day to come to work. So that was what I was dealing with starting out. And even facing those circumstances, I still was able to build, up to my second year, 200. My third year, I made 500,000. I became a regional director. And then in my fourth year, we made over $900,000. And I did all that with the driving. And we had to drive to people's homes, so for like if I hired my team, now it was tough. I'm coaching up a team where everybody has to go get gas. One guy, his car broke down. Like I had all these issues, but we still overcame all of that adversity and had massive success. So now you can do the same exact thing without having all of those constraints. I mean, literally, you can hire people from all over the country. It's insane. And when I started, there was no Facebook and Instagram. There was not social media 12 years ago like it is today, Yeah. So it's awesome. It's awesome opportunity for the right people. You great place at the right time for sure. Being in a sorority too, that's a huge, huge connection of network of people that can, even if the girl who's in your sorority, necessarily doesn't like come work with you, she knows all kind of people that could possibly. So it's like not even the connections, but the connections who have other connections.
Yeah, it's not always, it's not always what you know, it's who you know.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. That's how I got off. That's kind of really how I got my career off to the ground, because I came in and I literally recruited 10 people my first month and jumped right into leadership, and there was really no looking back. So for you to get to your top 10 people really will be just as quick as you possibly can get them there, will be as quick as you can be in a general manager. And then from a general manager, now your goal is to develop other general managers, because at a general manager position, you're making 150, 250, 300,000. Some of them make 700,000. So these are high level professional income earning positions. So once you get there, it's nice. Like, this is nice. I'm making $4,000 a week. I'm off, barely working. Because when you're an MGA, you don't have to see clients anymore, really. You might see them here and there, but your Friday nights are open. Saturday mornings, you don't really got much going on. You could coach your team up a little bit. One of your guys or girls have a question, you could help them out. Maybe somebody has a big appointment they want you to sit on with them. Well, back in the day, I would have to literally Saturday morning, I'd have to drive to the person's home with my agent and help them do the meeting together. Now I could be in my living room with the kids, and then 11 o'clock, like, hey guys, I'm going to go hop in. I go into my office, me and you do a big meeting from 11 to 12, and I'm back in the living room with the kids by 12:30. So that big sacrifice, isn't. So what I'm saying is, like, when you get into leadership, your schedule definitely dies down and the income goes up, right? Yeah. So it's a great place for you to be, but you're going to realize, like, if it's lonely at the top, I didn't bring enough people with me.
Okay. Yep.
So now you're going to say, I gotta go get other people, and I gotta teach other people how to do this. I'm making $250,000 a year. Let me show some other people how to make $250,000 a year. And what happens now is, if you want to make 500,000, then you're going to have to teach probably 3 or 4 people how to make $250,000. And if you got 3 or 4 people making $250,000, then you naturally should probably make 500,000. And the same thing happens when you go to make $1 million. Once you develop a couple people that are making a good 4, 5, 600,000, then you naturally should be making, about $1 million. So it's that whole process of just developing people, and it's kind of how it worked out for me, over the past few years. The nice thing that the company does, they give us a bonus when you get started too. So I don't know if, they might have went over it a little bit with you, but I dive into it just real quick.
Yeah,
You know,
I haven't really like sat down and went through all of like the specifics with like the like pay structure and just I mean that the generally speaking during the interview, but like as in now that I have my license, all of what's to come. Like which I think
okay,
through and I might go through on Thursday, but it's just been a matter of like getting my license, finishing the courses, and now finishing the script. That's where I'm at.
good, good. Well, honestly, that's the right way to do things.
Mhm.
Because if you don't get your license, nothing else even matters. So I remember when I started, I was asking all kind of questions about the business, and
Mhm.
my manager, my boss, he was like, slow down a little bit, because all this stuff that I could teach you it all right now, but if you don't get your license, then it's going to be a big waste of my time and a big waste of your time going over all this. So don't put the cart before the horse type of thing.
Yeah.
So you did it the right way. You're literally on the right track. So and great job on getting your license as well.
Thank you.
Good news, you never got to take that test again.
I know when Drew called me, I'm like, oh, I feel like the weight's off my shoulders now.
Yeah, for sure. um so yeah, the bonus for your first 90 days, they give a special bonus right now. If you bring anyone into the business and they get hired, whenever they start, whenever they get their license, the
Mhm.
company will give you $750 per person.
Wow.
So uh, I would recommend for you, especially if you want to get into leadership,
Hmm.
this will be a huge, it'll catapult your career. It's like coming out of the gates hot. Okay, is identify right now. Oh man, Debbie Gamble's calling me. I'm gonna have to call her right back. Can you still see me?
I just see the Vina agency block. I don't see.
Oh, it went. Okay, someone's calling me right now. So, well, I can really wrap up with you in a couple minutes though. But what they want to do, what I'd recommend to do is identify your top 10 people that you would want to start a business with.
Okay.
That you would just say, I want them to come check out this opportunity, and let's get them set up to sit in through the company overview that I do,
Hmm.
and let me go over let them sit in, let me go over the career with them for half hour maybe, and we're going to cut that one down. I'm actually going to start making it a little bit shorter when I go over the information. It takes me about a half hour right now,
Hmm.
because I just want to go over it all, but I'm gonna cut some things out and make it even more condensed. But yeah, we could hop them on for the 15 minutes or 20 minutes, however long and let them see the opportunity, and let them make a decision for themselves.
Okay.
So you want to identify your at least top 10 people. And then, when you meet with Drew on Thursday, you guys can go through them together and maybe even give some of them a call and start getting them set up to see what it's all about. Because now, if you have maybe 10 people and we end up moving forward with a few of them and they move forward with us,
Hmm.
it's going to take them a month or sometimes even longer for them to get their license and learn the script and come in and do all that kind of stuff. So usually what happens is, by time that you're able to get promoted,
Hmm.
a lot of times those people actually start coming through and actually passing. Um, what worked out really good for some people is like some of the, let's say you brought in your friend, Sam, and Sam started with us, and Sam, you're not really ready to train Sam personally yet, right?
Hmm.
So Drew trains Sam for you, right? And then after Sam's done being trained, you're able to get promoted to a supervisor, and Sam is automatically on your team. So not now you got someone on your team and they're already trained up as well. So that's like a real big come up. That's a real good way to just, you start out, you got a trained up person right on your team. Like it's like Doesn't happen very often,
Okay.
but if you can line it up that way, it's all in how you kind of set things up and line them up to yourself. You can line them up to be in your favor a little bit more. And like I said, it doesn't work out for everybody, but for me, if it worked, for me, and I was able to do, why would I not tell you, what the possibilities are? Not everybody can do that. Not everybody's in the position to even like hop on a call with me today and be mindful enough to identify that and be aware. You're obviously aware, and you realize you're a leader, and you recognize the opportunity, and you see, and you have a vision for where you want to be. That alone is huge, right? But then on top of that, to actually execute,
Yeah.
that's
Starting to spin now too, like who I could think of.
yeah. So you do a jogger, like I think I even wrote, like I think I had like 30 or 40 people, and then I like dumped it down to like 25, and then I just started calling and reaching out. And some of the people I reached out to weren't people that I necessarily wanted to recruit them into this business.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were people that I knew that they knew other people that would be, just like you said. So there's a lot of different approaches, different ways to go about it. But I think the first thing was just getting your starting 10, or starting however many you want to put down there, and start getting them out. Because if we can get you 10 hires, there's $7,500 in like bonus money up front, without even you doing any work yet, without you even making any sales,
Yeah.
So that would be nice, because it would also maybe take, if you have any, I don't know what your financial situation is, but if you have any financial pressure at all, it'll kind of take that away from you, and you can actually work and worry about doing a really good job, and not have to really worry about, like, am I making a sale or not?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We would say that sometimes people will call clients, and they'll call them just to make a sale because they need to make money, and the clients can tell.
Yeah, it needs to be.
They say that it's like, they call it having commission breath. So our clients are smart. They're blue collar. They're down to earth people. They know if you're there to serve them, and they know if you're there to sell them.
Yeah.
So I think it just helps when if you don't have as much financial pressure, and you're really true, like, hey, I'm already paid. Like, I don't need to sell you. I'm here for you. The only reason I'm on this call is I'm trying to help you out. They can see that, So anyways, that'll help you see. And what'll happen, not only does it'll catapult your career in so many ways. Number one, you'll get catapulted because you'll have a team already established. The income that you make off of your team, just on a weekly basis, because they're going to produce, is ridiculous. You make great income, great bonuses off of your team on a weekly basis. Plus, you'll get a $7,500 upfront bonus. All that's great, but it's an intangible thing that happens, because the success that you have allows you to actually go into the homes and have more success, because you have that less pressure than somebody who's not in that situation. So it's like a crazy snowball of exponential things that could kind of add up and just move into your favor, and you gain a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
So
thank you for those pointers. Now you have me going.
okay, good. So my mind was going a million miles a minute too when I started. So, but I don't want to keep you too much longer. I'm excited for you to get in there working with Drew. Drew's one of the best of the best. He'll literally bend over backwards for you. So you got a guy in your corner that he'll work with you all day, all night. He'll do whatever it takes to help you, and same thing with Josh. Josh is his RGA, and the whole team over there, really. So get excited.
Yes, I am. I was going to ask one question. Between the two of them, is like right now it's been a lot of back and forth with Drew and I. Is there like a certain manner that I should go about reaching out to either one of them, or is it just kind of like we're all one right now?
Yes. So Drew is your MGA, and Josh is Drew's RGA.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would reach out to Drew, first. And
Hmm.
if Drew can't help you, then you can reach out to Josh.
Okay.
Did you meet Tommy or Matt Jans yet?
No, just I first talked with Drew and then with Josh, who offered me the position. And then now it's been back and forth with Drew the rest of the time.
Okay, good. Yeah. So Drew might, if Drew does all of your training, you're really lucky, because he's at MGA. You know, so he has Matt Jans is the supervisor, Tommy Whalen is the manager, and Drew is the general manager. So I'd imagine he's going to have Tommy and Matt help, because the more help you get, the better. You don't want to just have one person to go to. So you have myself, you have Drew, you have Josh, and then Tommy and Matt Jans. They're rocking it right now. They're on a good roll. So I'd imagine he'd have you work with them a little bit in some regard, and I'm sure he'll kind of break that down a little bit for you on Thursday. I didn't get the details yet, but yeah, on Thursday you'll probably meet those guys. So, are you going to the office? Is it virtual?
Right now we said virtual. He hasn't brought up the office at all to me. So next week I'm starting like the rough training, I guess, and then I'll start the official one on the 7th.
Yep.
But I'm just going with his lead. I mean, I'm fully committed into this, so whatever you guys tell me is what gets done.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. He'll. I mean, if you ask him about the office, he'll tell you come on up. But we pretty much just leave it up to everybody. We just let it out there. We don't like tell, hey, you got to be here or anything like that. So,
Well, perfect.
but yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'll let you go for today. It was very nice talking to you, meeting with you, and I'll let Drew know we talked as well. And I look forward to seeing you up at the office and get when you get started with the training.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for your time today, and thank you for all the little pointers because I'm very excited to just dive in.
Awesome, Coley the goalie. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Hey.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.
See you.